I'm Sofia Bernardi, mindset and business coach supporting ambitious new and rising coaches plus service-based businesses to master their mindset, create an aligned and profitable strategy, and grow a six-figure business using the Rising Coach method. I built a multi-six-figure business by the age of 24, and in this podcast, I will teach you the psychology, strategy, and energetics to do the same. Let's dive in.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Rising Coaches with Sofia Bernardi. If you are watching me on either YouTube or the Spotify video version, you may notice that I'm in a very different environment to usual. I am in a completely different setup, and that's because I'm actually at my partner Geordie's office space today, and I'm using all of his podcast gear. I really wanted to record some podcast episodes, but I didn't have all my gear with me, so I'm using his, and I actually think it's potentially higher quality, so this should be really, really interesting. And even if you're not watching the video version right now, you may even notice that I sound different because I'm using a different mic. So it'd be really interesting to hear what you guys have to say about that, actually, and I can't wait to listen back to it to myself. So I just wanted to start off by saying that if you're wondering where the heck I am or why I sound different, it's because everything is different. Now, in this episode, I'm going to be talking to you about why people aren't buying from you, right? And I'm all about giving you actionable tools, strategies, and advice so that you can impact more people and really create a business and lifestyle that you love. And I'm also all about simplicity. And whenever I, answer your questions or create podcast episodes, I'm really wanting to do it in the simplest way possible so that it's really digestible and actionable. And so I've been able to come up with 3 reasons as to why people aren't buying from you. And these are the 3 reasons that I also share with my clients and share with them what they can actually do about that so that they are consistently signing clients and getting the most reward or benefit out of the actions that they are taking in their business. All right, so let's get straight into it. The first reason is that you are not sold on yourself. As I'm sure you all know, if you listen to the podcast regularly, I often talk about mindset work and energy work and how important that actually is in your business, and how it quite often comes down to, a mindset piece or an energy piece as to why things are or are not happening, right? So to be successful as a coach, you must have confidence in your ability to believe in your own value. If you believe in yourself and you feel good within yourself, then other people are going to be able to feel that as well. Can't you tell whenever you're talking to someone whether they have confidence or are lacking confidence, right? You can kind of just get this overall feeling, even if you don't know the person very well. You can just tell if they're shy or they're lacking belief. And that's why when we feel really solid within ourselves, it creates that sense of safety and comfort for our audience. And that's why it's so important that we start with ourselves, because at the end of the day, that's actually the only thing we can control is, our thoughts, our emotions, our actions, our behavior, our belief. And if we get that right, we've done 90% of the work just there. So I really want you to ask yourself, do you really believe in yourself? Are you sold on yourself as a coach, as a business owner, as a leader, as someone to guide your audience with the struggles that they have to create the results that they desire? Because if you lack belief in yourself, then so will they, because they can feel that. I don't know about you, but I'm not going to buy from someone who lacks confidence in themselves, because it will make me question them as well, right? If they're questioning themselves. You know how, let's just say you were going to go skydiving. I don't know if anyone's been skydiving. I tell you what, I was so nervous to go skydiving, but what really helped is I was jumping out of that plane with someone that has so much confidence in the process and is so comfortable with it and has done it, day in and day out, multiple times a day. They do it for a living. But if they were I'm nervous, I would be absolutely shitting myself and I would not have done it, not a chance, right? So being around someone that can guide you and protect you and that is confident and self-assured, it really makes a huge difference. So make sure that you are actually sold on yourself, and you can do this through inner healing work and mindset work, and I recommend having a mentor for that. Also like shadow work, limiting belief processes, using the mindset method to really like get clear on what stories you're telling yourself about why you can or cannot achieve the certain results that you want, or why you're not good enough for that. Because if you can start to really own yourself, own your actions, own your thoughts, you're going to have a much easier time showing up online. So it's really, really important that you can acknowledge your accomplishments and who you are as a person, and just be kind to yourself. Honestly, like we are so hard on ourselves by nature, and it's just so important that we go that extra mile to be super kind to ourselves. So that's point number one, is you're not sold on yourself. So if you're struggling to get clients consistently, really ask yourself, like, how sold are you on yourself first and foremost before you worry about why they're not sold on you. Point number two is actually that you're not sold on your own offer. So are you sold on what it is you're actually selling? Are you selling some stock standard 6-week program because a coach of yours like gave you this script and just like told you to sell this program? Or are you just like doing what you think you should do, or are you doing what other people have done, but you're not actually like feeling really congruent or aligned with what you're selling? Because if you don't have like a super clear offer and you're not sold on your offer, like you wouldn't buy it, that is like a huge red flag. So with all of the offers, whether it's free or paid, whenever I'm creating an offer, I make sure that I would fucking show up to it. I would buy it. And that's why I go the extra mile with a lot of the things that I create, because I want to make sure that I would like listening to it, or I would like consuming it, or I would take the time to pay for it, right? And that, ensures that I've got a really high standard for what it is I'm delivering. And that's why if you've ever come to one of my free challenges or events, or even listen to this podcast regularly, you'll know that I really go that extra mile with what I'm sharing, because I don't want to waste your time, essentially. I'm really mindful of people's time because I'm mindful of my own time. I love freedom so much, and that's why I often cut to the chase in these podcast episodes. I actually like podcasts where they're just like very casual and talking, like they go off on tangents and stuff like that, and I absolutely do that every now and again. But I quite often, I would say more often than not in these podcast episodes, get straight to the chase, because I know that like if you clicked on the episode, it's because the title grabbed your attention and I want to deliver on that. But I know everyone consumes podcasts differently. Like my partner, for example, he pretty much only listens to podcast episodes like Joe Rogan's, where it's like 3 fucking hours long, and I don't know how he does it, whereas I like mine to be like short and sweet. But I suppose like if you really, really like an episode, you don't really mind listening to it for ages. Let me know, actually. I would love for you to reach out to me on Instagram and let me know what like form of podcast lengths do you like to listen to? Like, do you like ones where they really share behind the scenes and their story and they're very conversational, or do you like those like quick bite-sized pieces of information to action on? I kind of like both. I think it really depends on the person. If I'm getting a lot of if I really like the person and I really want to know more about their life, like I'll happily listen to them go on all sorts of tangents and things like that. So yeah, anyways, I digress. You need to be sold on your offer. So make sure that you are you feel really, really good about it, and that the offers that you create are designed to meet the specific needs of your ideal client. So like it actually delivers what it is you say you do, and everything's just congruent. Because if it doesn't resonate with them, they're not going to buy it. And if you like are feeling funny about it, like that it's, salesy or sleazy, or that it's about you and it's not actually about like pouring your heart and soul into it, then yeah, you're going to have like dramas selling it, and therefore it's going to be received interestingly on your socials, and you'll probably not get very many buyers. So make sure that you are really sold on your offer. And then number 3,
are you ready to create aligned, scalable results in your coaching or service-based business? If so, I'd love to work with you. I support my clients through my signature programs, Rise to Coach, which is for new coaches or service providers wanting to sign their first clients, and Rise to 6 to scale to consistent 10K months. DM me at Sofia Rose Bernardi on Instagram to learn more and see if one of my programs is the right fit for you.
And then number 3 is that you are not sold on them. And this is such a big piece. This is where we really don't want to make our business about like us. We want to make it about them. Because if we are doing this for our own reasons, such as like only for the money, like there's nothing wrong with wanting money. I think we all want money. Why? Because we need it to fucking live. Like we literally need it to survive and thrive in life. It's just how the world currently works. And so of course we need and desire and want money, and that's totally okay. Money is just a tool. It amplifies and enhances your life. I don't care what anyone says. It absolutely does. There obviously comes a point where it doesn't really make much of a difference, but I think we can all agree like having more money as opposed to less absolutely enhances the quality of your life. However, if it is the only reason you are in business, if it is your only driving force, not only will people feel that, but you will not be sold on your audience. You will not have that belief in them, and you won't go that extra mile in like conversations or reassuring them, because you're just thinking like, how can I get them over the line quicker and faster, like, and easier, right? And so it's so important that you are actually sold on your target audience. So your ideal clients are the lifeblood of your business. To make sales, like you need to understand their needs and their desires and show them that you can help them to achieve their goals, right? So you really want to build relationships with them. And in order to build like genuine relationships where like both people can feel that, like you have to like genuinely care and be wanting to help them. And if people can feel that, again, that trust, that lack no trust factor really goes up, and they're so much more likely to buy from you. And I am really proud of myself with the relationships I create with my clients, because a lot of them re-sign to continue working with me and have done all of my programs because they actually just love me and they want to support me, which is really, really cool. And I become really close friends. Like one of my best friends now was a client to begin with. Like our relationship started off as her being a client, and now she's a great friend of mine that I see every single week and talk to most days. I'm also going for a walk tomorrow and taking someone out for coffee who's a new client of mine. I've never met her in person, but she's based here in Adelaide, and I asked her if she wants to go for a walk with me tomorrow. So I'm literally going for a walk with her, and I said, like, bring all of the questions you have to ask. I would love to support you. Like, I'm not being paid for that. She didn't ask to do that. Like, I actually just want to, because I give a flying fuck. And if all of you were in Adelaide, I'd want to have a big party. Like I really would love to have a big party. And one day I'm going to run a retreat. I've run lots of retreats and workshops at this point, but one day I'm going to go like next level with a retreat so that it's actually worth like people, like my clients in the US and Asia and Europe and everything, to like fly over for it. I want to make it like a really cool fucking thing. And like this is where like being sold on yourself, being sold on your offer, and being sold on them is so, so important. Like I want to be so sold on a retreat I create that like it's literally worth certain clients paying an extra few $1,000s to fly on the other side of the world to come to it. Do you know what I mean? Like you actually have to have that level of belief in order for people to do that. And so if you are not sold on your audience and it's just about you, you're going to have a hard fucking time growing your business, my friends. It's so important that you genuinely, like, you believe in them, you want them to do good, because then you go that extra mile. Like, for example, my self-paced course, Rise to Coach, it's supposed to be a quote-unquote self-paced course, but no, I do monthly Q&A trainings. I do quarterly 5-hour workshops. I do extra bonus live videos in there. I catch up with my clients that are from Adelaide or come and visit Adelaide. Like, you know, when one of my other one-on-one clients, when he came to Adelaide a few months ago, like I took him to the gym with me every single morning, and I went out for dinner with him and with Geordie like most nights while he was here, and I drove him around and like picked him up from the airport and drove him back to the airport. Like I did all of those things, like not because like I need to, but because I want to. Like I believe in him, and I build like genuine relationships with my clients, and it just requires that they are leaning in as well. But like now I only work with ideal clients. So like, yeah, I've like formed amazing relationships with them all. So my point is, if people aren't buying from you, it's pretty much because of you in some shape or form. You either are not sold on yourself, like you don't believe fully in your leadership and coaching abilities, or you're not sold on what it is you're selling, like you're just like not fully in it. or you are not sold on the people that you are talking to. And so really to be sold on all of those, it's basically just having like that unstoppable and unbreakable belief in all three of those things. And you need to do that consistently, and you need to do that with clarity, and you need to do that with confidence. Confidence, clarity, and consistency with being sold on yourself, your offer, and on your audience. That, my friends, is how you get people to buy from you and why your audience may not be currently buying from you. Now, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. I'm so excited to hear the quality, if the sound and the visuals is so much better, because it's like a completely different setup to what I usually have. So I'm pretty interested to see how this goes. But let me know on Instagram, come message me, or Facebook if we're already connected there, and let me know your biggest takeaway from today. And if you'd like to work with me, you can always book a free clarity call and we can have a chat and see which of my programs would be best for you, depending on what your goals are and where you're currently at. Alrighty, I love you all, my friends, and I will speak to you next week.
Are you ready to create aligned, scalable results in your coaching or service-based business? If so, I'd love to work with you. I support my clients through my signature programs, Rise to Coach, which is for new coaches or service providers wanting to sign their first clients, and Rise to 6 to scale to consistent 10K months. DM me at Sofia Rose Bernardi on Instagram to learn more and see if one of my programs is the right fit for you.